How I Changed My Life in a Year by Shelley Wilson. Narrated by Lara J. West. Introduction. So much can happen in 365 days, but how many of those days do we squander away? Take a moment to think about something you've always wanted to do, have, or learn. If you started working towards it 12 months ago, it could be yours now. As a holistic health practitioner, it's my job to help my clients control their anxieties and limiting beliefs and work towards their own goals with confidence. I draw on my own life experiences to show people that anything is possible if you just believe in yourself. 10 years ago, I walked away from an abusive marriage, taking my 3 very small children with me. I started over, new home, new schools, and a new job. I went to night school to retrain in holistic therapies, while working during the day as a sales manager in a conference and event department. I gradually built up my client list until I could leave my sales role and start my own holistic business. Recently, my eldest son said to me, "I'm so proud of you, Mum. Even when you're really tired, you still get up and carry on." As thoughtful and as lovely as that was, I didn't want my children to be proud of me for simply existing on a day-to-day basis. I wanted to show them that they could achieve anything when they set their minds to it. But how would I show them? As yet another year rolled to a close, I decided that if I was going to show my children and my clients that it was possible to make your dreams come true, then I'd have to prove it. Sitting at my parents' house on New Year's Eve, I realized that my string of broken New Year's resolutions would be the best starting point. Regurgitated goals swam around my brain. Get fit, read more, lose weight, all respectable objectives, until you eat your own body weight in leftover mince pies before the decorations come down. Resolutions abandoned. I challenged myself to stick fastidiously to completing 12 resolutions, 1 a month over the next year. To add to the pressure, I decided to blog the results for the world to see. myresolutionchallenge.blogspot.com. When I began the challenge, I had clear objectives: to teach my children they can achieve their wildest dreams and to show my clients that they are amazing women who can empower themselves to accomplish their own ambitions. I wanted to motivate people with the challenges I set myself. Never did I expect it to change my life. This book is designed to be a motivational tool to help you rekindle forgotten passions or make changes which are long overdue. If you fancy starting your own resolution challenge, don't feel you need to wait for New Year's Eve. Start today, start on Monday, or begin at the start of a new academic year. Don't put that dream on hold anymore. Do it today. In just 52 weeks, you could be prolific in Italian, running your own business, relocating to the seaside, or editing your first novel. Month 1. Lose weight. I am healthy and happy in my own skin. Do you know what the #1 resolution has been for the past few years? If you'd said weight loss, then you'd be wrong. It's actually to read more. As I never have a problem with switching off the telly and curling up with a good book, I chose to begin my challenge with the second favourite resolution, to lose weight. My weight loss challenge couldn't have come at a better time. I'd had to invest in larger work trousers to accommodate my expanding waistline. I had 4 boobs instead of 2, and I hated to admit it, I had back fat. My goal for month 1 was to start a healthy eating regime. I don't like the word diet. It takes 21 days to break a habit, so I hoped that by day 22 I would be able to look a bag of crisps in the eye and say quite confidently, "Not today, thank you." So, where to begin? I could follow one of the many weight loss plans published in magazines, or I could go online, but I knew if I wasn't kept in check, I would cheat and forget that I ate a deep-fried Mars bar after lunch. There was only one weight loss program which would work for me, and that involved physically attending meetings and interacting with people. So I joined Weight Watchers. They have an excellent e-source system which would, combined with the weekly meetings and standing on those scales in front of another person, keep me motivated. Let the weight loss begin. By week 2, I was still recovering from the shock of my first weigh-in at my meeting. I was astounded to find that I had put on 2 stone in just 7 months. This I discovered as I teetered on the scales, stripped down to the bare minimum of acceptable attire for a council library annex room. My Weight Watchers leader, Andrea, looked at me sympathetically as she handed me a smiley face sticker. "All the support you need is here," she told me. Lesson 1 was how to clear out cupboards and the fridge to rid ourselves of temptation. I closed my eyes to conjure up a picture of my fridge: beer, wine, potato salad, pasta, chocolate and a bottle of milk. I was going to be in so much trouble. Clear it out. Everything has to go. Andrea told us how we could get crafty with our leftovers, such as freezing cheese in small chunks, sending chocolates to our neighbours, and moving any other temptations out of sight. After an hour of clearing my kitchen, I got rid of the following: cheese, wrapped and in the freezer; pasta salad, kids had it for lunch; beer, donated to my grateful dad; wine, that stayed put because you never know when you'll have a bad day. I ordered my shopping online so I couldn't be tempted by special offers on high-calorie snacks, and I even bought crisps for the kids in a flavour I don't like so I wouldn't be tempted. The contents of my fridge were now healthy options such as vegetables, fruits and yogurts. It looked like a rainbow had exploded in there. As week 3 arrived, the weather turned icy, so I managed to leave my frost-covered car and walk my daughter to school nearly every day. The exercise and fresh air helped with the weight loss. Even though I had a great start to my weight loss, losing 6 pounds in 3 weeks, my willpower flagged at the weekend, and on one occasion I did succumb to a treat on a Saturday night. The children were in bed, so I had sole control of the television, a rare treat in my house, and I foolishly decided to watch Beaches whilst dealing with an array of turbulent emotions. I put it down to those nasty Christmas toxins coming out of my system. Weepy film plus emotional woman equals sobfest. It wasn't pretty, and yes, I attacked the crisp cupboard. Granted, I only devoured the 1 pack, cheese and crackers and a chocolate bar, but I felt awful. On Sunday morning, I looked like I'd had an allergic reaction to something, and my face was swollen and puffy. I was determined not to let my moment of weakness trip me up, so I spent the day cooking up a batch of bolognese, vegetable soup and a lamb casserole for the freezer. I felt so much better, and even though my vegetable soup, 3 points, looked a bit like wallpaper paste, it tasted fabulous. Week 3 is the most notorious for abandoning our New Year's resolutions, and I could relate to this. To make myself feel better, I cleared the drive of all snow, which obviously deserved a treat. This then turned into 2 treats when it started snowing again, and my freshly cleared drive had yet another blanket of snow over it. I refused to let this minor setback veer me off course, so, for the 3rd time that week, I drew a line under it and started again, until my parents turned up to take the 4 of us off for hot chocolate and croissants. Snow days are fatal. It's not rocket science. All I needed to do was eat less and move more. Surely even my brain could understand that concept. Weight Watchers to the rescue again. According to their new plan, there is a scientific reason why I can't stop shoveling snacks as well as snow. We all understand that when we haven't eaten for a while and our stomach is empty, we encounter a physical urge to eat, homeostatic hunger. Scientists have now discovered that we also have a physiological urge to eat, which can make us believe we are hungry when it's not real hunger, hedonic hunger. Both ways activate the same area of our brain. Weight Watchers helps members to form positive eating habits to control the hedonic urge to eat. So it would appear that I was not the failure I believed I was, but my willpower was being tested. With 2 days until my next weigh-in, could I turn it around in time? The tension mounted. It was nail-biting stuff. Note to self, check how many pro points in chewed fingernails. I was aiming for another pound loss, but if I managed to stay the same, that would be a mini triumph in my toughest week yet. Of course, it didn't help when I got text messages from Domino's, checking if I was okay because they hadn't heard from me in a while. I love Rhonda Byrne's book, The Secret, and have Mike Doolan's inspirational quote, "Thoughts become things, pick good ones," written on a chalkboard in my kitchen. When my children are having an off day, and all I hear is, "I can't do this homework," or "I'll never remember my spellings," I take great pride in tapping my chalkboard and showing them my mummy knows best face. I therefore had to laugh when I was sat at my kitchen table, head in hands at the prospect of my imminent weigh-in, moaning at myself for being a reckless snack-eating freak, and my 15-year-old son tapped on the board as he walked past and raised his eyebrows in a look beyond his years. I narrowly missed his head with the tea towel as he ran off laughing, cheeky sod. He did perk me up, though, so I wrapped up warm, pulled on my Wellington boots, and trudged through the snowdrifts to my meeting. I'm so glad I did, as I had lost another 1.5 pounds. I had spent all week blaming the snow for my lack of motivation to eat healthily, and yet because of the bad weather, I had abandoned my car under 5 feet of snow and walked everywhere. Our quest for the week ahead was to take control of our snack attacks when watching TV. I had scoured the cupboards and removed anything with chocolate or Pringles in the title, leaving me with sugar-free jelly, meringue nests, Weight Watchers yogurts, and lots of fruit. As the fluffy white stuff continued to pour from the skies, I decided that this week's meal planner would have to be warming as well as filling. A normal day for me now consisted of the following: breakfast, porridge made with water or soya milk, banana and blueberries. Snack, fruit. Lunch, homemade vegetable soup with a tuna salad sandwich on brown bread, no butter, and a small bunch of grapes. Dinner, spaghetti bolognese. TV snack attack, meringue nests with jelly and a Weight Watchers yogurt. Not bad when I look at what I used to eat on an average day. Breakfast, 2 chocolate brioche rolls, cup of tea. Snack, cup of tea and a couple of biscuits. Lunch, cheese sandwich on white bread and with butter, crisps, cup of tea and a biscuit, or 3. Dinner, steak pie, chips and baked beans. TV snack attack, tea and biscuits at every advert break. Plus wine, takeaway pizza and chocolate at the weekends. What a difference 31 days can make. My first challenge of the year was to start a healthy eating regime. After joining Weight Watchers and dealing with the shock of my current weight, I spent month 1 cooking up a storm, menu planning and making better choices. This meant I entered month 2 10 pounds lighter. I weighed less, had lost inches from my wobbly bits, had more energy, and found the social aspect of attending Weight Watchers meetings invaluable. Month 1 had made me re-evaluate what we as a family put in our bodies, and the harm processed foods, fats and sugars can do. Going to my weekly meetings offered the support I needed to keep going, stay motivated, and have a really good laugh. If you want to do a healthy eating plan, but can't get to a slimming group, find a friend who will be a diet buddy, weigh in together at home, and keep each other going. Support is key. I'd had a few wobbles on the way this month, most of those fueled by chocolate cravings and emotional outbursts. I'd had moments of madness, such as eyeing up the kid's pet goldfish and fantasizing about him deep-fried with a pile of chips. I'd tried to resist alcohol, but sometimes that glass of Chardonnay was the only thing that would de-stress me. I'd experimented with over 20 new recipes, and the kids had supported me through the highs, chicken pie, and the lows, chili con carne, without so much as a "please, can we just have some chips tonight?" and "who knew sweet potatoes were so yummy?" Month 1 equals mission completed.